Welcome to Manitowoc Garage. On today's episode, we will be discussing the Manitowoc Bluetooth Pressure Transducer Kit, as well as the phone app that goes along with it. This is available at any authorized Manitowoc dealer.
On the outside of the kit, you will see that there is a decal that gives you the part number for the entire kit, replacement sensors, as well as replacement batteries. Inside the case are 4 individual Bluetooth pressure transducers with 2 different style fittings. Both the quick disconnect and the stop style fittings traditionally used on the European style twin lock machines. On each individual transducer is the serial number that will correspond with the numbers that you search for and connect to by means of the app. There are 2 different size quick disconnect fittings that can be plumbed into control systems, as well as 2 replacement batteries, and these batteries are expected to last roughly 2 years. In order to find the app, you can either search for it in the Google Play Store for Android devices or on the App Store for iPhones. When the search app opens, you can simply type in Manitowoc Pressure and download the app titled as Manitowoc Pressure Transducers. After successfully downloading the app, you can select it from your home screen. And when it opens, the list will populate with all available sensors within range. Typically the range is roughly 100 feet, and the number seen listed here will correspond to the numbers that are ID'd on each individual transducer in the kit. Prior to making the selection of the transducer in which you would like to use, there are available options to you that must be set. By selecting the Options tab in the top right-hand corner, and then selecting Settings. Underneath the settings, you have the availability to change it into 3 different units of measurement. US is going to display in PSI. You also have the options for bar and KPA. We are going to be using US, pounds per square inch. And through this window, you can also enable or disable any alarms. The high and low alarm setting will be set in each individual transducer screen. To select a transducer, you simply click the one that you are attempting to utilize, and then click on the connect icon that appears at the top of the app. When it opens, it will show that it is connected, the transducer in question, the relative pressure that it is showing, as well as ambient air temperature. You can simply click on the picture of the gauge itself, and this will cause it to go to full screen mode. As you can see here, it is being displayed currently as at negative 11 psi. In order to zero the gauge before you use it on the machine, you simply click on the display where it says negative 11 psi, and it will prompt you to zero the pressure. By simply selecting yes, you now see that it will zero. Additionally, through this screen, you have the ability to disconnect from the sensor, which is shown in the bottom right-hand corner. Displayed in the bottom left-hand corner will be battery life, as well as ambient air temperature. If alarms have previously been enabled, you can access this under the settings for each individual sensor, and that is the gear selection in the top right-hand corner of this screen. When this populates, you have the ability to adjust the minimum and maximum pressure shown on the gauge display, as well as to turn on and off individually both the upper and lower alarms, and you also have the ability, of course, to change these values as shown here. An additional feature of the application is the split screen mode, which allows you to view the values from multiple transducers at once. When you select more than one, you simply go up to the top right-hand corner and click on the connect button. And the values will be displayed as shown here. We currently have the pressure transducer connected to a control valve. For the purposes of this demonstration, we are simply going to actuate a function and then come back out of it by means of the control joystick. You can see here that I have the pressure gauge on the screen turned down to 1000 psi as we are working on a relatively low pressure circuit. When we actuate the function, we see the pressure slowly begin to build as we get further and further into the joystick. And as we come out of the joystick, you will see the pressure begin to dissipate back down to the starting value. Once again, this is all completely wireless. I am currently standing roughly 30 feet away from the control valve. Another feature of the application is the data logger tool. From the screen when you are viewing the transducer values, you select the double document tab in the top right hand corner, and this opens the screen relevant to all of the data logging settings. You have the ability to go in for data logging and change a number of different things. You can change the values in which the data is measuring. You can change the intervals, the storage mode, and whether or not this becomes password protected. You can create a data logger file by simply selecting the Start/Stop button here shown in the top center of the page. I have already begun this data logging session, and there is an indicator showing you exactly that. After you have had it run for the appropriate amount of time, you simply select Stop. After this, it will prompt you to remind you that these cannot be resumed after stopping. You simply select OK. Once it has been stopped, you have the ability to then go in and retrieve these logs. You can change the name of the file, or it will give it a default one based on the date and time. Once the log file has been created, you can open it from this same window. When you open it, there are numerous ways that the pressure values in the log can be displayed. As we have this set to 1 second intervals, you can see the pressure changes in the right hand column, the date and time in the middle, and the number of the log down the left hand side. You can scroll the whole way to the bottom, or by means of the selection in the top right hand corner, you can also view this in a graph format.
Thanks for tuning in to Manitowoc Garage. Please be sure to check back soon for future videos.